Hey everyone, it's Chuck McAfee with Berkshire Hathaway and the Level Up team.
And I'm Jennifer Fleury.
And just wanted to share a little bit of information with y'all today. I've really kind of had my head down in the office the last few weeks, taking a deep dive into what's going on in the Metro Atlanta real estate market. As you have probably heard on the media and everything else, real estate is a little bit crazy right now, and I 100% validate that. So it's been an interesting kind of look back. I went back the last 10 years and just kind of dove into some of the data, and I just really wanted to share some of that with y'all today. And Jennifer's going to join me and kind of help facilitate a little bit of this conversation. I'm gonna get kind of into the weeds and a little bit nerdy. Don't expect to remember any of this stuff. We will have a link to all of this data that I referenced. So if you have any questions, that information will be there. And as always, if you have a question about your particular neighborhood, your particular subdivision, your particular kind of geographical area, just let me know and we'll dive into that a little bit deeper. But I'll let Jennifer kind of kick it off.
So Chuck, I did notice that you have your head down. I've been throwing things at you to get your attention. Give me, kind of your summary of the neighborhoods. What were your, what did you find out in exploring these neighborhoods?
Yeah, and just kind of what I did, right? So I went back, essentially back to December of 2012 and looked back in a lot of different parts of Metro Atlanta. So I kind of grouped them in areas. I did look at the entire MLS system, but then I kind of broke them down into different subgroups. So group one is kind of that Midtown, Old Fourth Ward, Decatur marketplace. My group two was Buckhead, Brookhaven, Chamblee, Sandy Springs. Group three is that little Alpharetta, Milton, Roswell corridor. My group four is Johns Creek, Duluth, Suwanee, Cumming. 5, Woodstock and Canton. Group 6 is East Cobb, Smyrna, Vinings area. And then my group 7 is my West End, College Park, East Point communities. And so try to give a really holistic approach for all of kind of Metro Atlanta. So I know I've sold a lot of homes all throughout the area. So some of you that are listening to this, I personally live in Brookhaven, but I sell everywhere, and that's fine. It's a little bit unique about me. I know these different parts of Atlanta. So I wanted to give you some information in your kind of corridor, what's going on, and give you a little bit of flavor there. So I won't go through all this. It's way too small. My eyes are too bad at this point to read all this, but I do want to share a little bit with you. So I went back to 2012 and just did some really kind of deep dive on where is house pricing really gone, where is inventory gone, so what's going on with the available homes for sale, and just a kind of a quick few highlights. The very quick, backing up, the quick and dirty of the summary is that if you bought a house in 2012, you're going to love your position on where you sit today. I mean, the home prices have just drastically increased. From an entire Metro Atlanta MLS standpoint, kind of where we kind of call that Metro Atlanta area, I mean, prices are up 123% from 2012. What's even crazy is just back from 2019, they're up 30%. So there's been some significant price appreciation. Just to call out a few of my communities that we sell in, and then hopefully some of y'all are listening and live in. But when you look at kind of that Old Fourth Ward and Decatur marketplace, since 2012, prices have appreciated over 280%. So
did you say 280?
280%. When you look at kind of Brookhaven, Chamblee, Brookhaven appreciated 116%. Chamblee appreciated 244%. Alpharetta, Milton, Roswell, all of them almost have appreciated more than 100% since 2012.
That's an investment.
Yeah, so like I said, if you bought in 2012, you're sitting in a great situation. Johns Creek, Duluth, Suwanee, again, you guys all have appreciated almost 100%, 150% in some scenarios in Duluth and things like that. Woodstock and Canton saw significant growth at 153% price appreciation since 2012, as well as my East Cobb, Smyrna, and Vinings. Literally almost everyone's at 100% price appreciation since 2012. Where you really kind of get your socks blown off, though, is the whole West End, College Park, East Point corridor. The West End has appreciated since 2012 936%.
Maybe you should say that again.
936% price appreciation. Now, granted, it got hit hard during the housing downturn. It got reset quite significantly. In 2012, the median sales price was $28,000. I wish I bought everything. Today, or December of 2021, the median sales price is $290,000. So significant price appreciation in that marketplace. What I also kind of thought was kind of interesting is I looked back 10 years and we would all naturally think that that's what happened,
Yeah.
right? Everything has gotten more expensive. We're living that. We're hearing that on a daily basis. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just see what happened kind of 2019. So kind of really the start of this whole pandemic that we're kind of coming out of, and just kind of want to see what was going on there. And there was really some eye-opening things. I mean, that whole Johns Creek, Duluth, Suwanee, Cumming, you guys have all experienced 35% price appreciation in just 3-year period of time. The same is true for Alpharetta, Milton, Roswell. I mean, a 29% price appreciation. It does not totally surprise me. I think with where we're coming out of and where jobs have adapted and allowed a lot more from working from home and people not commuting into Midtown or Buckhead or downtown, people have really kind of flocked to that corridor, and the prices show that. So you've experienced some really price appreciation over just the last 3 years. Everyone I just described in this market has done that. What was a little surprising is some of your kind of your staples in town market, that Buckhead corridor, it's just kind of run fairly consistent. It's had a 3% price appreciation since 2019. It didn't have a crazy change from 2012. Granted, it was a 50% price appreciation. But that Buckhead corridor, which again doesn't surprise me, it held strong during the housing downturn. That people want to be in that location. So not as crazy as some of the growth areas, but all in all, like if you bought a house in 2012, heck, if you bought a house in 2019, you might be surprised what your home is currently worth. So interesting stuff. A few other things I wanted to point out, some other key data metrics that I was looking at is really in real estate, we talk housing supply. We use a term that's called month supply of inventory in our place. You may hear that in the media as well. It's not probably as well widely used. But for reference, a normal housing market is a 6-month supply of inventory. That's where the buyer gets a fair deal, the seller gets a fair deal. It's a fair deal all around the board. We have not seen that in quite some time, honestly. It is what we would classify very, very much a seller's market. So anything that's less than 6 months supply of inventory gets kind of deemed that seller's market, and we're absolutely seeing that in today's marketplace. And then obviously the opposite, if you have more than 6 months supply of inventory, the buyers are really able to kind of call the shots in those situations. This is a general, I did not put any price point parameters in there, so depending on price points, the market changes a little bit, right? We have the most expensive home for Georgia in sale right now. It's at $20 million. That's in a league of its own, so that's got a little bit different month supply of inventory. But when you just look at what has happened as far as available homes for sale, and I'm not even going to go back to 10 years, because 10 years ago, it was on average probably a pretty normal market, slightly a seller's market, where there just wasn't, it was about 6 months inventory across the board, a little bit less in some marketplaces. In 2019, that definitely had dropped to about half. So we went from a 6-month supply of inventory to 3 months. So in December of 2019, it was still a very strong seller's market. But from December 2019 to today, the inventory has just literally fallen. It just disappeared. Across most of, well, all of these areas that I described previously, there is less than 1 month supply of inventory. There's just honestly no homes for sale. So probably the biggest challenge we face on a daily basis is, Chuck, I want to buy, or I own a home currently, where am I going to go buy? And we can help navigate that. We'll talk about some subsequent videos on how we get there, but this is just really a state of what's going on in the real estate market. When I looked at this when I was looking at this, from the homes for sale in December 2012, throughout our Metro Atlanta area marketplace, there was 26,721 homes for sale. So 26,000. I remember years ago, you drive by the billboard.
I was going to say that.
There was like 100,000 homes for sale, and I was like, damn, that was a lot of homes for sale. But that has dwindled away. So in 2012, there was 26,000 homes. In 2019, there was 25,000 homes for sale. So it didn't really change a ton over those 7 years. But in December of 2021, there was 12,000 homes for sale, literally half itself. So again, the same story here is that there's just not a lot of inventory, so it's a super competitive market out there. It's a great place to be in a seller's position. As a buyer, it's a little bit more challenging.
But you can help them.
Yeah, we navigate that all day, every day. Just last night we put a contract together. So I don't want this to be doom and gloom, but it also wants to be reality of what we're currently facing in the marketplace. A lot of questions I get is, like, how long is it going to take me to sell my home? There's a gentle balance there. We still have to go through the right exercises.
Right.
We still have to prepare the home for sale. We still have to, if one of your goals is to maximize your value and get the most money out of the home. And so, but when you look at kind of the days on inventory, or the days on market rather, it is super, super low. In 2012, we were looking at probably 60 to 90 days on the marketplace. Across all of the areas that I just described, you're looking at less than 20 days on the marketplace if you're priced right, presented well. So, like I said, it's a very, very good situation to be in from a seller's perspective. Maybe you're not a seller. Maybe you bought a house in 2012, but you're trying to look at how do you expand your wealth creation, right? Let's talk about some creative ways that maybe you do buy that second home, or maybe you buy an investment property. Those opportunities still exist. Even though prices have appreciated 936% in the West End, there's still opportunity. There's still places to buy in this place, in this market. So that's kind of it, folks. The key takeaway, and we'll put some slides together and we'll give you access to this definitely kind of after the video, and there will be a link to all this information. But home prices have drastically increased, and they've even drastically increased since the last 3 years. So things have really taken off the last 3 years. Inventory continues to be a challenge. It's not a challenge we're afraid of. We'll roll up our sleeves and we'll find a way to navigate that. But if I can help answer any questions, or if you have some questions specifically for your home, don't hesitate to reach out. Call, text, send us a message, and we'll get you some more kind of true, accurate information on your property. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great one.
Thank you.